Great to have a chance to speak with you, man. My apologies. You're here in Toronto. You're
Yeah.
doing the one-on-ones. I was supposed to be there, but it was more kind of a
Oh,
choice. Either me be there and not really get the interview I want, or stay back and do the Zoom. So that's why we're doing this.
oh, okay. Well, cool.
And the other thing I got to apologize about for folks don't realize this is raining out there. It's not
Oh,
the
yeah.
best.
Yeah.
But welcome to Toronto, man. Is this your first time?
Yeah, first time out of the US, so it's really cool
Oh,
to just
wow.
be outside and just see new things.
Yeah, well, the newest thing you're probably seeing is the fact that our Toronto Blue Jays are
Yeah.
going into the World Series, man.
Dude, the town, well, city was wild last night. It was crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah, well, we try to celebrate, but not causing any problems or anything like that. But so glad
Yeah.
that you're here and you got a chance to experience that. We're gonna get a chance to experience your music, man. I gotta say, I love the old school sound you got.
Thank you.
Where the hell did that come from?
I have no clue. I just grew up listening to like old 70s and 80s rock and roll and a lot of blues actually, like Stevie Ray Vaughan and stuff. So I think that's really where it came from. So
But you got a slight twang to it. That's what you don't hear for a
thank
lot
you.
of for the younger folks, man. Again, was this just a natural thing? And also, did your family ever have anything to do with music, or did you just sort of pop out and just go, "I'm taking this road"?
No, they're not musical at all, actually. I just love the music and I always wanted to do something creative. I just didn't know what it was. And then I started playing guitar in high school. And then shortly after I started singing. And then I just knew I was like, I love to do this, And then I found out they're like, you can make money doing that. And I was like, no way, I'm totally doing that.
What
So,
about writing, though? Were you writing when you were young? And if so, did you even realize you were writing? Because some people I've spoken with when they were growing up, they more or less wrote poetry and didn't realize that poetry
yeah.
actually turned into lyrics.
Yeah, I was more of a melody guy, to be honest. But I did write a few songs before Nashville and stuff. But Nashville is really when I started writing like professionally, and I just, I learned a lot in Nashville about writing a song properly, and and I really don't think there is a proper way to write a song. To be honest, it's everywhere. Can be anything you want. So.
Now, I don't want to, you've probably been asked this a million times. What's this thing with the singing mailman?
Well, after high school, I went to college for 2 weeks, and it wasn't for me. And then I needed a job, so I applied for the post office, and I walked 14 miles a day carrying mail, and I would sing and play gigs, after work every day, but I would sing on my route and stuff, and people just started calling me the singing mailman around town. So it's kind of a funny little name.
Hey, man, it's a cool thing when you can get noticed that way. When did the big boys, before you got signed or leading to get signed, when did they start looking at you?
Well, I was playing gigs and I got a call from Toledo, Ohio, to go play a corporate gig at a Holiday Inn in a ballroom and open up for these Nashville songwriters. And so I drove up, it's about 2 hours, and I played this corporate gig, and it was like 45 minutes. I played covers. Well, the Warren Brothers, these songwriters, they seen me play, and if you don't know who they are, they wrote like Red Solo Cup and Highway Don't Care, some huge songs. And they're like, dude, you got to get to Nashville like now. And so 3 weeks later, they invited me down. We played the Bluebird. We wrote a week in Toledo Talkin and recorded them the same night. It was like the most magical experience ever. I've never been to Nashville. That was my first time. And so there was a lot of new things happening for me. But, and then, 9 months later, I moved. And then finally, they're like, all right, we think it's time, and they took me to Big Machine and sat me down in front of Scott Borchetta and Allison Jones. And I played a couple acoustic songs, and Scott's like, "All right, when do we get started?" And I was like, "No way!" It was crazy.
Congratulations on that, man.
Thank
How
you.
did that change your life?
Well, I get to travel the world now. That's really how it changed my life. It went from, the local bar to the next state to the next country, and now I'm finally here. So.
It's not just that, too, man, but you shared the stage with some legends, brother.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've got to play with Riley Green, Cameron Marlowe, love him. I got to write with Vince Gill and hopefully getting to share the stage next year with maybe Tim McGraw. It's just a possibility. There's so many cool things. So yeah.
Well, the coolest thing is it's music. What do you have released right now that we can check out, my friend?
Well, I just released my first album. It's called Toledo Talkin. My favorite track on there is probably Weak. So I'd love for you to check that song out and just the whole album if you have time, you know. But
We got time. We got
yeah.
time. How do you
All
think
right.
this album represents you, though, at this point in your career, especially since we're being introduced to you really with this
Yeah,
album?
I think I really I revolved the album around moving away from home at a young age and taking a chance to do what I love to do. And I think that's really what it's about, most of the songs on there. And I just also think, giving hope to people out there in the world that are going through hard times. I think it, especially the song Headed Home, I think it really relates to people in certain ways and helps them get through hard times. So,
What advice can you give folks who are going through that? Because you know, the second you flip on social media or turn on the TV or even
yeah.
stick your head out the window, it's crazy out there, man. A lot of people are having a hard time to adjust to all of that. What advice do you have for them?
That's a really hard question. There's a lot that I could say, but really, if you have a good family, just stay close to your family and love them and love God. And if you don't have a family, just good friends. If you do, stay close to them and just be honest. Um, that's kind of my advice for people.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
We're in the fall, heading into winter, and going into 2026. What are the big plans?
Man, hopefully a couple tours coming up. Probably, I don't know about new music, but we're definitely writing a lot of songs. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully we get some tracks out there. So that's kind of the plan so far.
All right, man. Do me a favor though. Bug your big boys about Boots and Hearts because we would love
Okay.
to have you up here performing
Cool.
at that big festival because
All right.
that's the closest I could get to watch you perform since I
Oh
couldn't come
yeah.
tonight. So that would be amazing. Look, man, I'll let you go because I know you got prepared for what's coming up.
All good.
Congratulations on the success and cross fingers, man. We get to do this again, but one on one.
All right, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.